All my focus was on this game. My hands gripped the controller tight, my fingers flying across the buttons with expert precision. Headshot! The last opponent was down! My chat box instantly flooded with compliments from viewers who were in awe of my killer skills.
Your reflexes are insane! So freaking good!
She won again!
Nobody can beat her. She's the best of the best!
I was grinning from ear to ear, basking in the glory when... You little rascal glued to your games and computer all day. Let me show you what's what. Hi, I'm Billy, a gamer, a tech whiz, a hacker, or whatever term you know from someone who's a tech genius. Online, I was all that, but in real life, I was just a shy girl, terrible at socializing with zero survival skills. The thing is, I used to have both my parents, and my dad was the one who sparked my love for technology. We could talk for hours about computers, how to build them, fix blue screen errors, break through firewalls, you name it. But then, one day, Dad said goodbye, told me he had to go work far away, and gave me a watch as a keepsake. That was the last time I ever saw him. After that, it was just me and Mom, and every time I asked about Dad, she would avoid the topic. I started to close off and dreaded going to school because of the teasing about my incomplete family. So Mom decided to homeschool me, and from that moment, the computer became my best friend. The days passed by in peaceful monotony until one day, while I was buried in fixing a bug, I heard the news that my mom had been in a car accident and was in critical condition. I rushed straight to the hospital and was devastated to see my mom lying motionless. Worse, the doctor said that if she didn't have surgery soon, she wouldn't make it. But the surgery cost a fortune. Where was I going to get that kind of money? I wandered outside, walking along a bridge, feeling like the world was crumbling around me. Just when I was at my lowest point, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Complete the task and the money will be yours. What the fudge? Probably just another heartless scam. But then another message came through. Scream out loud and $100 is yours. It seemed ridiculous, but I did it anyway. Anything to blow off some steam. Right after that, I heard a ting, and my account had been credited $100. I hadn't even recovered from the shock when more messages started coming in. Go to the convenience store and buy something, feed a stray cat, and other silly tasks. I did them all and the money kept rolling in. I was getting pumped about this easy money gig when a hidden mission popped up with a reward of $1 million? Just enough for Mom's surgery. I didn't think twice before hitting yes. A limousine showed up and took me to a secret location. A screen lit up with the mission, hack the computer of Westfield High School's principal within 2 weeks. Wait, wasn't this illegal? But it's $1 million. $1 million freaking bucks! After agonizing over it for a while, I decided to go for it. Mom, please trust me. And that's how I ended up here, posing as a new student at Westfield High. How long had it been since I last attended school? I tried to put on my most determined face, but the truth was, my legs were shaking like jelly. Thankfully, I managed to pull myself together a bit when I met Principal Wilson. He seemed super kind and gave me a warm introduction to the school, but I was only focused on scoping out the room, and more importantly, the computer, my main target. Wait, there were 2 of them? Which one was I supposed to hack?
Any questions, young lady?
Yeah. Which of these computers has the password?
Excuse me?
Oh, I mean, I just wanted to say your computers are really nice. This wasn't going to be as easy as I thought, but whatever, I needed to get to class first. But disaster struck right away. I couldn't open my locker no matter how hard I tried, and I couldn't even find where to enter the code.
Need help with that?
With just a quick turn, they unlocked it easily. I thought it needed a password like a computer. It had been so long since I'd been around so many people. I kept my head down trying to avoid attention until... Crispy crickets! I looked up and saw the most gorgeous guy ever. I mean, look at those thick eyebrows, high nose, and those eyes.
Move it. You're in the way.
He didn't even bother helping me. Looks like being handsome doesn't mean much if you've got a lousy attitude. Phew, finally out of those boring classes. It was time to eat. After getting my food, I spotted a table in the corner and headed straight for it when I tripped over a chair leg, sending my tray flying into the air, and the food rained down on a very stylish girl's head. I am so sorry, but what do I do now? Ew! I'm not sure if this is still edible. Are you dumb or something? No, but... Then she raised her hand and I braced myself for a slap. But just then, that annoying guy from earlier suddenly appeared. Look at that aura. Was he coming to save me?
No need to lay hands on someone this dumb. Just do this instead.
And then he took his own plate of spaghetti and dumped it right on my head while everyone around burst out laughing. Ooh, I like that new handsome guy. That jerk, Patrick. One day, I'll make sure he gets what's coming to him. It was only the first day and everything had already gone down the drain. My mission hadn't progressed at all because there were always students hanging around the principal's office. After that day, I decided to bring my own lunch to the storage room to find some peace and quiet. But suddenly, a cold voice echoed through the room.
Who's there? How dare you trespass in my territory?
Sorry, didn't see your name on the door. I'll just sit and eat for a bit and then I'll be out of your hair. He frowned at me before turning away and lying down to sleep. I just kept eating. Pizza, yum. By the way, why is pizza round but the box is square? Hey, aren't you eating lunch? I've got an extra slice of pizza, though I already took a bite. Hope you don't mind? You know, when I was little, I thought pizza was a birthday cake because it has layers and toppings, but when I cut it, no one sang happy birthday to me.
You talk too much. Can you just scram already?
This annoying guy. If I see him again, he's gonna regret it. The next day, I decided to sneak into Principal Wilson's office by climbing in through the back of the school. But guess who I ran into again? Patrick. That guy.
You again? You really seem to like following me. I'll give you 5 seconds to get out of here. 1, 2...
And I'll give you 5 seconds to eat this fist. But I was unlucky enough to trip on my own shoelace and fall right on top of him. And we kissed. Peach flavor. You just ate peaches, huh? No, I mean, sorry.
And I smell garlic. What did you...
Suddenly I panicked and looked down at my wrist. Where was my watch? Oh no, the watch my dad gave me! It's gone! It must have fallen off when, with you. You owe me! Find it for me!
What? You're the one who crashed into me. Jeez, stop overreacting. Just get your dad to buy you a new one.
My dad. He's not around anymore. And then memories of my dad flooded back and I couldn't hold back my tears as I sat down and cried. But to my surprise, Patrick suddenly sat down next to me and handed me a tissue.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Really. My dad's gone too, in an accident. Let me help you find your watch.
In that moment, Patrick seemed different. Not the jerk I thought he was, but someone really gentle. He combed through the bushes and eventually found the watch for me. We sat there talking until the hall monitor found us and we had to run away immediately. Since then, we exchanged phone numbers and texted each other every day. The more we talked, the more I realized there was something interesting about this guy. Although I still hadn't completely forgiven him for dumping noodles on my head under the excuse of fitting in with the others, hanging out with him kept the bullies away from me. That night, a message from the mysterious taskmaster popped up asking about my progress, but I didn't dare reply. There were only a few days left before the deadline and I hadn't accomplished anything yet. The next day, the school hosted a club fair and I knew this was my chance. While all the teachers and students were gathered outside, I sneaked into the principal's office. No one was there. One of the computers didn't have a password, not the one. I quickly moved to the other one, but in my haste, I spilled coffee all over the keyboard, making it glitch out. Focus, Billy! Someone had put up some serious security, but nothing that could stop me. I quickly hacked into the computer and started sifting through the data folders, even though the keyboard kept going on and off. I messaged the taskmaster reporting that I had completed the mission and backed up the data onto a USB when I heard footsteps. I immediately hid in the filing cabinet and peeked through a gap. It was Patrick, and he was searching for something. Suddenly, a giant cockroach crawled up my leg and I couldn't hold back a scream. Patrick flung the cabinet doors open, shocked to see me. Just then, another set of footsteps approached. Patrick immediately grabbed me and we jumped out the window. But unlike in the movies, I wasn't graceful at all. I rolled around like a bowling ball as Patrick laughed obnoxiously. But hey, at least we got out of there. We ran out of the school and sat on a bench, both staring at each other, waiting for the other to explain why they were in that office. Okay, I'll go first. I'm a hacker and my mission was to hack Principal Wilson's computer.
A hacker? Have you been gaming so much that you're delusional?
How'd you know? I'm a gamer too, but what about you? What were you doing there? Spill it!
Fine, I'll trust you for now. But you should know what you're doing is illegal. Still, maybe you can help with my mission, so I'll let it slide. I'm an agent investigating a smuggling ring connected to someone at this school. I've searched everywhere, but found nothing, except for the principal's office.
An agent? So your codename must be Agent P, like Perry the Platypus. Perry!
Let's get serious. I've uncovered that the former principal, who's now deceased, was involved in the smuggling, and he used to work in that office. There must be something on that computer, which is why someone hired you to hack it.
I was still reeling from the shocking info dump when my account suddenly pinged with a $500,000 deposit along with a message, advance payment. I couldn't contain my mix of surprise and joy as I ran straight to the hospital and paid for my mom's surgery in advance. But the curiosity still gnawed at me. Who was behind this mysterious task? I went straight home and plugged in the USB from the principal's office, and was stunned by what I saw. It was an old photo of 3 people. This looked like the former principal, that's Principal Wilson, and my dad? I kept digging and found records of their illegal smuggling operations. But the biggest shock was an article about my dad's arrest for smuggling, dated exactly 10 years ago today. So my dad... I was shaking, but I kept going and reached the final encrypted folder. It contained the password to the bank account holding the money from their last deal. 10 years in the statute of limitations, so that's why the mysterious figure wanted me to unlock this computer and get the money. Just then, smoke started filling the room and I couldn't breathe. My head was spinning, but I managed to see a figure through the smoke. I stumbled toward them and struggled, but they shoved me aside. They went straight for the computer, yanked out the USB, and bolted. But I grabbed something from them. In the aftermath, when the smoke cleared, I opened my hand and saw Principal Wilson's ring! I immediately called Patrick and told him what had just happened.
Just as I expected.
Patrick stopped me from confronting Wilson because we still didn't have solid evidence, so we planned to break into his house together and find clues. The next day, I stubbornly went to see Wilson, and sure enough, he wasn't wearing his ring. I pretended to ask some innocent questions, but he acted like nothing had happened. But while I was there, I casually hacked into a smartwatch. That night, we climbed the wall and easily bypassed Wilson's fingerprint lock because it was a basic model, and I had the info from his smartwatch. We ran down the hallway and found a hidden passage leading to a room. Too excited, I pushed the door open, but it swung back and smacked me right in the face. Billy, now is not the time to be clumsy! Then both Patrick and I stood there, mouths hanging open at the sight of the room stacked with cash. I was about to take out my phone to snap some evidence when I saw Patrick get knocked out, and a very familiar voice echoed through the room.
Ha ha ha. Well, well, aren't you too clever? But too bad this is just a trap. This money's all fake. Looks like you're just like your old man, only good for being our pawn.
I was furious and about to charge at him, but then he pulled out a laptop with a countdown timer on it.
Easy there, or you'll end up in pieces. I've rigged this whole building with explosives. Now just sit back and wait for the end.
The ticking bomb echoed through the small room. The screen was filled with complex codes, like a maze with no way out. I knew that even the smallest mistake could end everything in a fiery explosion. There it is! I found a vulnerability in the bomb's defense system, but to disarm it, I needed a decryption code. I quickly typed in a series of commands, but the security system detected my interference and started accelerating the countdown. 4 minutes, 3 minutes, access denied, access denied, access denied. My heart was pounding. 1 minute, 30 seconds, 10 seconds. I looked at Patrick, took a deep breath, and typed in one final command. Please work! Bomb deactivated. Yeah! My heart skipped a beat and I felt dizzy just as Patrick woke up, saw the screen, and, surprised, hugged me tight before sprinting out.
I'm not letting him get away!
I used what little strength I had left to crawl out of that horrifying house and collapsed on the doorstep. A while later, I heard police sirens, and from a distance, I saw Patrick pinning Wilson down. We handed over the USB containing all the evidence against him, and Wilson was definitely going to be eating prison food for a long time. Miraculously, after just one surgery, my mom's condition improved. Patrick even helped me with the rest of the money needed for her medical bills. I don't even know how I can repay him. And today, I finally gathered the courage to visit my dad, who I hadn't seen in 10 years. He was overwhelmed and couldn't hold back his tears. It was a bit awkward, but I felt an invisible bond between us. And I was so grateful that Patrick helped us find the evidence to reduce my dad's sentence. Time passed, and today was the day. I had been granted special entry into the FBI Cybersecurity Division, alongside my boyfriend. Oops, meant to keep that a secret, but it slipped out. Now I'm on the same level as you. Hello, colleague.
Dream on, kid. With how clumsy you are, you'll just be stuck behind a computer investigating, not running around like me. How's that same level, huh, Squared?
You... Without me, how could you guys have...
Shh, okay. You're always the most important to me.
In the dark room, I took a deep breath to gather my spirits and tried to focus intensely. I put down the snack bag and pushed my glasses up my nose. I was in the middle of a super intense combat, on a forum with the topic, are aliens real or not? That's just imagination. There's no evidence proving their existence. Almost immediately, a guy jumped in to counter me.
Just because we haven't found evidence doesn't mean they don't exist. The universe is vast and humanity hasn't explored it all. Open your mind, Sophia.
He replied using my profile name. His arguments made my blood boil, and his profile picture looking all smug. But I couldn't deny he was quite handsome. As I was about to continue typing furiously, a strange shadow appeared on my window, followed by my mom's terrified scream. Sophia, help me! I panicked and opened the window to see my mom clinging to a tree while a grotesque green creature tried to pull her away. But Mom, could you not? Mom burst out laughing as she took off her alien costume. Cute, right? The neighbor kid gave it to me. Oh, it's almost time for us to go. Don't forget our dinner appointment with your dad's boss's family. Get dressed, sweetie. I sighed in resignation and shut down my computer. That guy, he got lucky today. Hi, I'm Sophia, and I'm always a realist. When I was 5, I discovered Santa Claus wasn't real. I peeked from behind the couch on Christmas Eve and saw Santa taking off his costume. It was just our neighbor, Mr. Thompson. Then the Tooth Fairy legend was shattered when I caught my mom slipping $1 under my pillow. That's why that guy drove me crazy arguing about something I don't believe in. I was on my way to a family dinner at a fancy restaurant in the city. I told my parents about the debate earlier. My girl is always right. That guy is so arrogant. When we arrived at the restaurant, they were already waiting for us. Oh, it turned out their family had a son around my age, which explained why my mom insisted I dress up nicely. But as we got closer and sat down, I was horrified to recognize that familiar face. I stuttered and pointed at him. He is the guy I debated with on the forum! What a coincidence! Maybe he's right then, since he's so smart. What? Mom immediately switched sides to defend him, making me furious, while he didn't seem to recognize me as the person he had argued with online just hours before. His name was Jason, a rich kid. No wonder he always looked so smug. He really is a genius. I rolled my eyes so hard I thought they'd get stuck. Seriously, could they be any more obvious?
Maybe you should spend more time with him, Sophia.
Sophia?
I nearly choked on my steak. Jason had to perform the Heimlich maneuver to save me. Thanks.
No problem. But are you, by any chance?
Oh, you two would be so cute as a couple. I retreated to my seat and stayed quiet while Jason seemed excited.
Sophia is an interesting girl. I really like her.
No way, I would never. Before I could finish, my mom covered my mouth. She's just a bit shy. It's an honor. Mom shot me a look before letting me go. I knew why they were doing this. They wanted to impress their boss. We said our goodbyes as they climbed into a fancy car. Just one dinner, and I suddenly had a boyfriend named Jason? The next morning, I stormed into my quirky best friend Maeve's house. She was lounging on the couch, sipping a morning smoothie. You won't believe what happened last night. I plopped down on the couch, still fuming, and grabbed Maeve's smoothie, drinking it all in one go. Apple and carrot really is a perfect combo. So here's the story. What? Jason? The hot guy from school? Huh? He goes to our school too? Oh my gosh, yes, you goof! But we need to fix this. You can't get stuck with him! We fell into silence, Maeve deep in thought while I continued munching on her snacks. Eureka! Holy moly! To avoid making your parents furious, you have to play the victim. In other words, let him be the one to dump you. And the best way is to find him a new girlfriend. That wasn't a bad idea. We fell silent again. I was mulling over a list of girls who might be interested in Jason when I glanced over at Maeve. Oh wow, that might actually work. After some minor resistance, my best friend reluctantly agreed to help me. The plan was to text Jason to make him fall for Maeve. Then boom, he would forget all about me and my parents would have to admit their matchmaking attempt had failed. The only catch was that I would be the one texting Jason under Maeve's name because she said, "No way am I sending lovey-dovey texts to some boy." Alright then, the mission began. I approached Jason by participating in the "Are aliens real or not" topic and expressing my agreement with his point of view. I had to try really hard. Soon enough, Jason responded to my DM. At first, he rambled about alien theories, but then we started talking about more personal things in our daily lives. Jason surprised me. He was funny and had great taste in music. It was 4 a.m. when we finally said goodnight. I can't remember the last time I had such a good conversation with someone. From then on, we talked every night. Jason's passion for science fiction was contagious, and he had a way of making even the craziest theories sound completely plausible.
It's great to talk to someone who shares the same passion. Most people think it's weird.
Everything was going well until one day Jason said,
Let's meet up.
I panicked, imagining the plan falling apart and burning to ashes before it even took off because Maeve would never be able to handle a soft conversation with Jason. Eventually, Maeve and I decided to use a tiny earpiece to exchange information, but we never got the chance to use it. Maeve turned the meeting into a mess when Jason tried to hold her hand. She punched him right in the face, and I knew there was no saving the disaster we had created. The next morning, as I was daydreaming about whether to continue the plan, Maeve burst into the classroom and dragged me out. It might actually work, Sophia! Maeve parted the crowd and pointed to a girl standing at the center. A beautiful, gentle girl who had just transferred to our school and attracted all the attention. Her name was Lily. But when Jason approached, his eyes were glued to me as if we were the only two people in the hallway. I got goosebumps. Time to bail. In the following days, Maeve and I followed Lily everywhere, trying to create chances for her and Jason to accidentally meet. We found out she had just moved to the city and was living with her parents in a huge mansion. Wow, a princess in a castle? Look at us! We look like two kidnappers plotting a ransom. Thanks to the stalking, I discovered Lily was also passionate about science fiction, just like Jason. A perfect target. I bought a pair of tickets for a sci-fi movie and anonymously sent them to Lily and Jason. That evening, when they arrived and sat next to each other, I thought I could see Jason's confused face and Lily's shy one. It was their first private time together, and soon enough, they were chatting happily about the movie. I felt empty as I watched them from afar, while Maeve was delighted that we finally found a way to save me. But my mission wasn't over yet. Until they officially became a couple, I still had to shadow them on their dates. One afternoon, Jason and Lily met at a cafe to work on a project together. I hid in the bushes nearby, straining to overhear their conversation. In a moment, it seemed like Jason was about to kiss Lily. My plan was almost complete, but I jumped out of the bushes and yelled, "Stop! Don't kiss!"
Sophia?
Oh, well, there were kids walking by. Kids are so innocent. Don't let them see that. What a coincidence running into you two here.
Were you following us?
No way. I was just passing by. Well, I'll be going now. I darted out before finishing my sentence. What a disaster. Why did I suddenly rush out like that? In the school canteen, Maeve nearly exploded when she found out I had ruined Lily and Jason's moment. I had single-handedly destroyed all our efforts. But why? Don't tell me you like Jason. Shh, keep your voice down. No, there's no way Jason is such an idiot. The voice of a girl carried over from the other side of the wall. I curiously peeked and saw Lily sitting with a group of mean girls. Oh, don't worry. I'll just dump all the project work on Jason. He listens to me like a puppy. You're so smart, Lily. After this project, I'll dump him. He's useless. What a loser. My blood boiled when I heard those words. Without thinking, I jumped out and confronted her, drawing everyone's attention. How dare you? What are you gonna do, Sophia? Jason isn't an idiot, and he doesn't deserve to be treated like that. Impressive, but this isn't your business. Lily sneered and shoved me aside. My anger flared and I shoved her back. It is my business when you're hurting my friend. In a flash, we were at each other, pulling hair and yelling. The hallway echoed with the sounds of our struggle, and other students gathered around, pulling out their phones to record the chaos. Maeve also jumped in to defend me. I held Lily tight and tickled her while my best friend locked her in a chokehold. The two of us against Lily left her no chance. Until the teacher rushed in to separate us, pulling us to opposite sides of the hallway. I was out of breath, my hair a mess, but I didn't care. When I looked over at Lily, still glaring at me from the other side of the hall, I knew one thing for sure. I wouldn't let her hurt Jason anymore. And maybe, just maybe, it was time to tell Jason how I really felt. But I couldn't. At the next family dinner, I kept my head down, not daring to look at Jason. The feelings I had for him had changed since our last encounter. That night, Jason suggested walking me home, and I shyly agreed. Needless to say, both sets of parents were overjoyed. As we neared my house, we found Lily waiting, her face twisted with anger. What are you doing here? The moment she saw us, Lily charged, splashing an open bottle of water toward me. But Jason stepped forward, taking the full brunt of the water. He stood there soaked, shielding me.
Lily, that's enough.
Why are you protecting her, Jason? Do you know what she did? Sophia wanted to pair you with me from the start, and now she's trying to tear us apart.
My heart sank as Lily revealed the truth. I looked down, unable to meet Jason's eyes. It's true. I admitted it. I finally had to face it. At first, I didn't want to be paired with you. I thought if you had someone else, my parents would stop pushing us together, but...
But then you talked to me every night and started to like me, right?
Yes, I grew to like you, which sucks. But wait.
Do you think you control everything? You're wrong. Jason knew all along.
That statement from Lily shocked me even more. So I was the fool in the story I created. Lily and Jason high-fived each other, celebrating their success.
Playing this role was a bit tough for me. You owe me, Jason. I really did lose a few hairs in that cafeteria fight earlier.
I'm sorry.
And you know, Sophia, Jason is my cousin.
Huh?
Yep, and boys aren't really my type. By the way, can you introduce me to Maeve? That girl's got style.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Now you do. If you'll excuse me, I have other things to do. Try not to cause any more drama, okay?
As Lily walked away, Jason came over and took my hand. Without needing any more affirmation, he pulled me close and kissed me. Oh, look at those happy kids. The next morning at school, Maeve was waiting for me at the gate, looking extremely distressed. Sophia, I think we need to plan. Find a girlfriend.
That's all sorted out. Maeve, so there you are.
Find a girlfriend for Lily. Help me! I called out for help, but no one could hear me. I was so far from the yacht that no one had even noticed I was missing. Everyone was still laughing and having fun, but the sound of the waves overwhelmed the music. I struggled to stay afloat, my breaths becoming shorter and shallower. As my body grew even weaker, my mind began to drift. I thought back to my privileged life, designer clothes and fancy cars. I wondered if it was all worth it, if all the status and wealth in the world could save me now. Save me! Please! Who said that no one in the world is perfect? So did they forget to count me in? Because I'm Madison, the daughter of a wealthy man who owned 3 successful businesses, and we lived in a luxurious mansion overlooking the city. Yeah, you heard that right. In that way, I became the most popular in school with designer clothes, expensive cars, and perfect grades. Which color dress would you like to wear to the party tonight?
We have Porsche, Lamborghini, and Mercedes. Which would you like to choose?
Oh, Madison, we are honored to have an excellent student like you. That's not all. There's one more great thing I want to show you. This is Kristen, my bestie. She is beautiful, gentle, and very kind. Our parents are close, and so are we. Many people even think we are twins because we often wear the same clothes or bags. I really appreciate this connection between us.
Madison, as long as you accept me to be my lover,
Nope.
I can give you everything.
Nah.
Madison, I can put your name on the map.
Nope. But wait, are you Jack? Kristen's ex?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, right?
You don't deserve her, and I'm way out of your league, Avi. Falling in love with best friend's ex? Ew! Disgusting! I won't let anything ruin our friendship. One day, my father announced that he had recently purchased a luxury yacht and decided to host an extravagant party to celebrate the occasion.
I will invite all my business associates and their family. You can invite your friends too.
Yahoo! Party! Needless to say, I spent weeks planning my outfit, picking out the perfect jewelry, and choosing the right makeup. When that day came, I arrived on the yacht wearing a beautiful flowing Dior dress and sparkling jewelry. The moment I stepped onto the yacht, I was greeted by flashes of cameras from the paparazzi who were allowed to board the yacht to cover the event.
Wow, you look gorgeous.
After returning them with a smile, I glanced around and saw a bevy of familiar faces and new acquaintances. Of course, I was the life of the party, getting all of the attention from the boys. As the night went on, I began to notice something was off. Kristen has yet to show up. As I was walking around looking for her, I saw Jack. Dad! That boy Jack? Why is he here?
Oh, he's my friend's son.
So that's it. Jack came from a wealthy family. No wonder Kristen was so infatuated with him. In the middle of the party, I approached and chatted with a group of boys on the yacht's upper deck, including Jack.
You look like Rose on the Titanic. All of a sudden, we have Jack here.
Everyone was bursting into laughter. Suddenly, I felt a push from behind, then I fell into the cold, black water below. I gasped for air and tried to regain footing, but the waves were too strong. I struggled to stay afloat as the current swept me away. Help! Dad! Help me! I screamed and tried to signal for help, but all I heard was the noise from above the yacht. My ears were ringing. Would they realize I was missing? My arms began weaker, and I slid beneath the waves. I felt my body light up. Where am I?
We're so sorry for your loss.
Wait, what? I saw my parents crying. Were they in the hospital? Who's that? I found myself lying on a white bed, completely unconscious. Was I really dead? Hello? Everyone, I'm here! Dad? Mom? I still have a lot of unfinished things. It couldn't be true. No! I woke up and found my body exhausted and my memory hazy. Could it be that Jack pushed me by accident? I looked around and realized I was lying on an unfamiliar beach. In front of me was a young man who seemed to have just saved me from death.
You still alive?
Where am I?
I don't know.
What?
What is what? That's how you say thank you to the person who saved you? Here, take it. Lucky for you, I always carry food with me on short voyages.
I hesitated. Should I trust him? But I was so hungry and helpless. I then devoured the food and drink that guy gave me. Turns out his name was Alex, a few years older than me. He was tanned and muscular, with a bright smile on his face. He said that he lived in a small village nearby. When he was rowing to explore new islands, he happened to see me lying unconscious on the beach.
You come from a rich family, right? I could tell by your dress.
That's right. My father is blah blah. Can you hand me your phone? I need to contact my dad. Don't worry, I will repay you handsomely.
I can't.
What? Why?
I don't have that thing.
At first, I thought I had gone back to the primeval time. But after listening to Alex talk about his community, I understood everything. He grew up in a small town where everyone lived with a love of the sea and a simple lifestyle. Began to dip towards the horizon, Alex suddenly jumped to his feet.
Oh my gosh, I should have noticed the time.
I have to go home. But how?
I'll take you back to town tomorrow. There will be someone there who can help you. But I'm afraid we have to spend the night on this island tonight. The sea is extremely dangerous, especially at night.
His statement left me gasping. Spending the night in such a desolate place made me feel anxious.
We need to set up a campfire.
I looked at my expensive dress and looked at Alex. He was also looking at me.
Fire will help us avoid wild beasts.
Wild beasts?
Yeah. There could be tigers, bears, or any wild animal in the forest. Who knows?
Without waiting for Alex to say another word, I immediately tore the hem of my dress and got ready to do anything. But that was not as simple as I thought. Ah! I'm sorry!
That's okay.
We gathered wood and kindling and soon had a roaring fire crackling between us. I thought I was going to starve here. So I took the last bread Alex had given me since morning, but when I was about to take a big bite, oh my gosh! That incident made Alex burst out laughing. As the night gradually fell, we sat together and watched the flames flicker and dance. I thought about my previous life. Everything had been so controlled, so planned out, but here on the beach with Alex, I felt free. You know what? I always have to show myself as an outstanding person.
Uh-huh. You must be feeling very tired.
By the time the stars began to twinkle above us, I felt like I had made a true friend. I knew that me and Alex came from vastly different worlds, but at that moment, I didn't care. All I knew was that I found someone who I could trust, someone who made me feel like I didn't have to put up any walls or facades. As I drifted off to sleep that night, with the sound of waves lapping against the shore and the scent of salt in the air, I knew I had experienced something special. The next morning, the bright sunlight and the sound of the waves woke me up. No one was around. Was I having another dream about a guy named Alex?
Hey, come here. Look what I found.
Hearing his voice, I smiled and rushed to him.
What? Why are you smiling like that? Is there a starfish on my face?
No. I had a sweet dream last night.
This must be yours, Kristen. I found it when you were lying on the beach yesterday.
Alex said and handed me a necklace. But my name wasn't Kristen. The name made me dumbfounded as the memory was restarted. Everything rushed back like a slow-motion movie, very clear. I thought it was Jack, but it wasn't him. That night, when I felt myself being pushed forward before falling into the sea, I turned around and tried to grab onto whoever was behind me. This necklace belonged to the person who did this to me. Was it really Kristen? But why did she do that to me? In my shock, I stammered to Alex. I need to get back now. I have something to do.
Get on the boat. I'll take you back to my town first.
Before we climbed into the boat, I heard a helicopter fly overhead.
Madison, is that you?
When the helicopter landed, my father jumped down to grab Alex.
Who are you? What have you done to my daughter?
Take it easy, Dad. He's Alex. He saved me.
Really?
After receiving my confirmation, he calmed down and thanked Alex. We offered to invite Alex to the mainland, but he refused. So we parted even though many things were left unsaid. But I had a thing to do. Kristen had to pay for what she had done. When I returned, I immediately went to the school to face Kristen. Oh, Madison! Thank God you are still alive! I'm so worried about you! It was you who pushed me into the sea that night. You talk nonsense! We're friends, aren't we? Yes, we used to be. By the way, where's the necklace with your name on it, which I gave you? I must have dropped it somewhere? No, it's right here. I accidentally snatched it the moment you pushed me that night. You slander me! I will sue you for slander! Kristen was about to rush in to steal the evidence from my hand, but it wasn't that easy.
Enough, Kristen. You need to take responsibility for your wrongdoing.
The case lasted 2 weeks, and Kristen finally had to pay the price for her actions. Turns out, she's always been secretly jealous of me for everything, while I thought it was a close friendship. My life was back to normal with expensive clothes and luxury cars, but I always feel like something was off. Madam, about this dress. I looked up and saw the maid holding the tattered dress I wore that fateful night. I already know what I'm feeling. I miss Alex. I grabbed my phone and ran out of the mansion. I had to find him, who gave me so many emotions. As soon as I walked out the door, my phone suddenly rang. A call from an unknown number. Madison, Who's that?
Hi. This little device is really useful, but I still want to talk to you in person.
Alex! The auction got more intense when the auctioneer brought out a diamond dress. All the girls in the auditorium were in awe when it was revealed.
The next item up for auction is a diamond dress. The opening bid will begin at $150,000.
I have to get it. $200,000.
$200,000 to Miss Doman.
$200,001. $300,000. $300,001. Are you kidding me? $500,000. $1 million. What?
Sold to Miss Kaminsky.
Oh, my bad. But that's okay. I bought it as a doormat. Who are you? Why be so crazy?
Miss Kaminsky will get everything she wants.
It looks like someone just asked my name. I'm Jenny Kaminsky, and I live in Massachusetts. Before I tell you about my wealthy life, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. I am the only daughter of my parents, and they are billionaires. My father is a real estate tycoon, and my mother is a famous fashion designer who stands behind many products of the most recognized brands like Gucci, Prada, Chanel. Darling, go get the gifts! Let me see. I could even make sure that none of my outfits were the same to each other in a year. I lived in a large mansion isolated from the rest of the world, surrounded by thousands of golf courses.
This is private property. No trespassing.
Every weekend, I use my private jet to shop at the mall. I want this, and that one. How dare you bring me this old-fashioned stuff? Do you know who I am? I want to speak to your manager. I loved the way people admired me when I walked out of a boutique with a bunch of bodyguards carrying bags behind me. However, I was the opposite of my dad, who didn't like me being too showy. I want to change my jet to pink.
If you don't behave properly, I will cut your allowance forever!
Well, I would definitely have my way of changing the jet's color to my fave color. And about the boys who pursued me.
Jenny, if you love me, I will buy you an entire island and name it after you. I don't have much, but I own 5 skyscrapers in Los Angeles, 6 golf courses in Dubai, and 1 heart wholly devoted to you.
Confess it. You wish to have a dream life like mine, right? I was used to being rich until one day, everything changed. Trust me, it was really, really bad.
We've been having some trouble at work, so our lives will be slightly turned upside down.
Slightly? But how?
We're moving to a smaller house. Your tutoring will stop, and you will be instead sent to a boarding school.
Boarding school? What about my jet? My things and clothes? Mom! Everything will be sold as collateral. Our company goes bankrupt. I don't want to be poor. No! It's impossible! I ran back to my room. Everything now could make me furious. No! No, please! Why is life so unfair? After being exhausted from crying, I laid down on my bed. Then I woke up because of the loud noises outside my room. I opened the door, entered the hallway, and found strangers inside my house. Who are you? Thief! Thief in the house! Get out of my house! But they didn't answer, just continued to carry all our stuff away. I ran to my parents' room and heard them talking.
Jen will be fine. Our daughter is strong. She is smart and agile. Just don't worry too much.
So it was true. It was not all a nasty nightmare. My life changed negatively overnight. I was transferred to a school in town. It was even smaller than my mansion. A familiar girl entered the class and her eyes went straight to me. I didn't realize who she was until she raised her voice. Oh, look who's here, falling from the 9 clouds. Is it hurt, snobby lady? Who are you? Sold to Miss Kaminsky. Oh, you're the one that wants to wear my doormat.
Stop acting like a drama queen, Teresa.
Oh, little Liam, I think you're supposed to be in the hospital to care for your weak sister.
It's none of your business. You better stay away from her. She is bad.
Huh? Stay away? I've never had to be afraid of anyone before. Who do you think you are? Is your dad the headmaster of this school?
Nope.
Huh, then she is nothing.
Her dad isn't the headmaster, but her mom is. If you still want to stay here in peace, Don't mess with her.
Take my hand off! How dare you!
You are no longer the daughter of a rich family. Now you are just like me.
Why? How do you know that? Do I know you?
Well, I just read some news. Anyway, I'm Liam. You can call me if you needed.
Why should I? I can take care of myself. Then I turned around and walked away. The first day of school went not so well. Teresa and her friends hid my books and smeared gum on my chair.
How miserable you are!
You little brat! While I was fiddling with the gum on my skirt, Liam came over and wrapped his shirt around my waist.
I told you not to mess with them. You need to be more patient.
But they go first! I'm not drinking this. I'm hungry. I want sushi and Starbucks.
You can't do anything if you don't have money. I have a part-time job at a fast food restaurant. You should think it over.
You want me to work as a waitress?
That's all you can do now.
Ugh, this outfit looks so awful!
Guests coming in. Ask them what they want to order. Be polite.
What can I get you? What? Why are you here?
Why can't I be here? Now serve God! I want 1 cheeseburger, 1 crispy chicken sandwich, 3 pieces of fried chicken, 6 nuggets, and...
How could I remember it all? Why do you eat so much, you fat ass? Liam panicked and pulled me inside. What happened after that was terrible. I was fired and the boss reprimanded Liam for letting me in. The next day, Liam found me a new job, a sailor for a high-end shoe store. I can do this, definitely. But why are you treating me so well?
I just want to help those in need. Don't get me wrong.
Psst. This job suited me because I used to use designer brands, so I knew all the popular shoe models. The boss was delighted with me, but it didn't end there. Teresa and her friends found me, again.
Bring me this, and the pair on the shelf over there. I want to try it on, but you have to put it on my feet.
You went too far.
What? What are you gonna do to me?
But her behavior reminded me of the old me. My rich friends and I used to look down on others, and Liam probably didn't want me to mess with them. Ugh, karma will hit you hard. Suddenly, I saw someone burst into the store. Trixie? Go home now! How dare you go around bullying others?
OMG, you're hurting me!
It turned out that Liam videotaped the whole thing and sent it to Teresa's mother. One day, the PE teacher selected me for a school handball competition. From that day on, I had to go to the gymnasium after school to practice. So did Teresa and her friends. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And it was not unexpected. They repeatedly attempted to attack me.
Take this, freak!
Suddenly, someone rushed in and hugged me tightly. It's Liam! I saw him wince slightly as the ball hit his back. You all right? Liam didn't answer, just nodded his head slightly. Our faces were so close. My heart pounded wildly in my chest. Why did he show up at such a time? Was he always following me? Did he like me? For a moment, I thought he was going to kiss me then. But no, Liam let go of me and ran away. The next day, he didn't come to class. I asked the teacher about him. His sister is in the hospital, and he takes a few days off. I finally got the address of the hospital and planned to go there the next day. It was a major hospital in the city. When Liam saw me, he was so surprised.
Why are you here? How do you know?
I come to visit your sister, as her brother's friend. I pushed Liam aside and entered the room. His sister was sitting on the bed, and she smiled when she saw me. That smile really touched me. It was the kindest smile I've ever seen. You must be Jenny. I've heard Liam talk about you. A lot. Tell about me? You obsessed with me? His face turned red for a moment, making us burst out laughing. Since that day, we had become closer more than ever. I even helped him with the study that he missed out.
I used to think my sister would be the most important person to me.
I turned to look at Liam, and so did he.
Until you came into my life.
Before I could say anything, he rushed over and got close to me.
Allow me. Well, what are you doing?
Huh?
Why do you close your eyes?
From then, I came to visit his sister
weekend. One day, I was waiting for him when his sister said that he seemed to have a date with someone. I was rather curious, to be honest. I looked out the window and saw Liam running happily on the hospital campus. But he suddenly stopped after receiving a phone call. He turned around and ran back towards the gate. I followed him down 2 streets until he turned into a restaurant. I was surprised when I saw a familiar car parked outside. How is my little Jen? Is she okay?
She's fine. She's changed a lot. Not as stubborn as before.
Oh gosh, thank you.
Beside the hospital bills, we will give you a little more as a thank you for helping Jenny. We had no choice but to lie to her. Thank you again for helping us.
I received 2 shocks in a row. My family's company didn't go bankrupt and their work didn't meet trouble as they said. And most of all, the guy that I thought came to me because he loved me, but he took advantage of me to make money. That sucks. I believed in you, but you just need the money. You're a fat liar. Why did you lie to me? Am I a joke to you? We're so sorry.
You don't have to apologize. We did it because it's good for you. We thought you had to be more mature, but you... Jenny, stop.
It hurt me so much when I heard his sharp words. I ran away from there and returned to the dorm. Liam texted and called me a lot, but I didn't pick up. That night, I suddenly received a phone call from an unknown number. I'm sorry for making you come this far, but I can't go anywhere. If you want to speak for him, it's useless then. Liam is my brother, and I know you're the one he loves. I stayed silent because my heart broke when I heard his name. Liam worked so hard so that I could be treated in a good hospital. He didn't receive money from your parents. You can ask them for everything. He loves you. He hasn't been to the hospital since this morning. I'm so worried. Should I find him? Liam was the only person to give me such strong emotion, who kept me smiling even when things were at the worst. But where should I find him? I suddenly remembered something. I ran over there and saw Liam, under the tree where we were together that day. Liam?
No, I'm sorry. I know that no matter how much I tried, it wouldn't be enough.
Thank you for showing me the value of life.
Jenny, you also taught me a lot.
What?
You taught me to love this life. My life from now on is you.
Liam turned around and pulled me close. Then, he placed a kiss on my lips. We became a couple after that. I also made up with my parents and understood that they just wanted the best for me. I had returned to the wealthy life, but I was not the stubborn Jenny Kaminsky of the old days. After all, I have learned to love my family and the people around me.
As I was rereading the script and waiting for my turn, suddenly, the teleprompter was knocked over and fell to the ground. Whoops, my bad. Sorry, everyone. It was Hera, my mean sister who just intentionally bumped into the teleprompter. She looked at me and smiled defiantly. Damn it, she knew it was my scene next. While the team frantically tried to fix the teleprompter, the director hurriedly called me into position. I put down the script, closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and got ready to act.
Kiva, get ready. 3, 2, 1. Action!
Hi, I'm Kiva, an 18-year-old professional actress. I lived with my mom and my twin sister, Hera, who was also an actress in Los Angeles. My mom used to be a celebrity and she put a lot of hope in us, her children. I had never let her down once because I excelled in everything, whether it was acting, hosting, or singing. Mom often favored me over Hera, so she tended to be extremely jealous of me. Once, both Hera and I had a casting at 2 different locations at the same time. However, my mom spent a lot to rent me a gorgeous outfit and a luxury limousine, while she just gave Hera a few dollars and asked her to book an Uber ride. Also, she had to prepare her own clothes. At the end of the casting, my sister came home in anger. She threw her notepad at us. The stupid taxi broke down in the middle of the road, so I was late for the casting. Why are you always favoring Kiva more? I hate you both! Then Hera furiously left the house. I immediately chased after her, but mom stopped me. Let her go. If she wants to get special treatment, she gotta earn more contracts. After that day, Hera constantly tried to pick a fight with me. She always followed me around and tried to disturb my work. But you know, I'm a pro. Even without a script, I can still improvise smoothly. But not every time I was lucky enough to escape Hera's irritating pranks. Once, when Hera and I were sitting in a hair salon to prepare for another casting, my hairdresser went out and I was so exhausted that I dozed off. When I woke up, I screamed in panic when I saw that my hair had been curled for too long and my sister was suspiciously adjusting the curling machine temperature. What are you doing, Hera? Turning you into a 70-year-old hag, duh. Then she smugly crossed her arms and walked away. I screamed in terror and tried to flee, but the machine fell to the ground and dragged me down as well. Finally, my hairdresser came back and turned it off, but it was too late. My hair looked like it was trendy in the 70s. Because it took too long to be fixed, I missed the casting. Hera was selected instead and became super famous. I swore I would tell Mom to punish her. But the moment I came home, Mom was happily celebrating because Hera got that role. Congratulations, my dear. I knew you'd make it. What the hell? Hera got that role by ruining my hair. It wasn't fair. While I was trying to suppress my anger, Mom excitedly approached me and held my hand. I just got another great opportunity. A new Netflix series is coming up and they're looking for a talented actress for the lead role. Unfortunately, only one can get it. With that, she left Hera and I alone and we stared at each other ferociously. That role is mine. Just wait and see. From that day, we treated each other like enemies and I definitely wouldn't hold back. I decided to make Hera taste some of her own medicines as well. Once, when she had a shooting at the zoo and was busily petting the animals, I secretly smeared her hat with honey. When Hera used the hat as the prop to start shooting, the insects and the bees started attacking her, making her run around a tree like a fool. Hera threw the hat at the director. This stupid hat! Screw y'all! I giggled and sneaked away. Hera's unprofessional attitude had left a bad impression on the crew. The smell of honey also attracted more insects and animals, which made the crew unable to shoot any scene. After that incident, Mom scolded Hera heavily, then told us, "Kiva, I'll give that contract to you instead." I happily hugged my mom and quickly announced the good news to Gavin, my boyfriend, but I never expected that things would go downhill soon after. That day, I went to the set and filmed the last scene of a movie I was working on before participating in the new Netflix project. Suddenly, a chandelier fell straight on me. I barely avoided it, but the chandelier had pressed on my leg and twisted my ankle. In the backstage, I saw Hera running away in panic. Soon after, I was taken to the hospital. The doctor said I must rest for 1 month, which meant I couldn't accept my mom's contract anymore. Damn it! The person who would replace would definitely be Hera. I painfully accepted this fact. However, from the day I was hospitalized, my mom and Hera didn't visit me once. Only Gavin was there to take care of me. Knowing that he worked in the movie industry too, I told him how disappointed I was that I had lost my lead role in that upcoming series and asked him for advice. Gavin was shocked.
It already started 2 weeks ago, and they chose Stella, a Hollywood rising star, as the main actress. Don't you know that?
I was startled, but my mom said it was meant for me or my sister. Feeling suspicious, I asked Gavin to take me home to find the paper contract. When I opened the drawer in my mom's room, I saw a copy of it. Oh my god, it was actually a contract that my mom and a rich old tycoon co-created. Whoever signed it would agree to become that tycoon's mistress. Mom used us as a tool to make money. And worse, I remembered that the contract would be signed today on a yacht at Los Angeles Beach. I immediately went there to rescue Hera. Stopping in front of the harbor, I saw Hera alone on a yacht. Before it set off, I crept up and hid outside the cabin. Hera was innocently waiting at the table to sign the contract when suddenly, an old man hungrily grabbed her. She pushed him away and shouted in panic, "Who are you? Let go of me!"
Come on, baby doll. Your mother has sold you to me.
Hera cried in terror, then kicked his crotch as a reflex.
You're doomed, stupid girl!
He rushed to Hera, but I quickly grabbed a cup of water and threw it at his head, causing him to double over. Hera ran to me and clung to my shoulders in fear as the old perv took a chair and rushed toward us. With my sharp reflexes, I hugged Hera and dashed to the side, which made him trip and fall into the sea. When it was finally over, I hugged my sister tightly and quickly called police to report everything. Due to that, my mom was punished accordingly. And if you wonder about the fate of the old fart, rest assured, Gavin has used his jet ski to bring him to the shore. After everything, Hera apologized to me for trying to hurt me. Both of us decided to move out, and no matter how my mom tried to contact us, we wouldn't forgive her anytime soon. My relationship with Hera has also slowly become better.
I was in the elevator when suddenly, where did this person come from?
Hold the elevator! Hold the elevator!
Before I could process what was going on, the stranger's hand covered my mouth.
Keep quiet, or else.
I nodded in panic. Right now, my heart was beating so fast that it was about to explode, and my whole body was shaking like a leaf. The elevator went through the floors. I also gradually calmed down. However, neither me nor the man said a word.
There's no way out for? Huh?
As I opened my eyes, I found out that there was just me in the elevator with a note that said, "I sincerely apologize for frightening you." And the men wearing suits outside were just as confused as I was. Hi, my name is Isla, and I just witnessed a crime. Please like and subscribe so you won't miss my weird story. After the incident in the elevator, I was taken to the police station as an accomplice of Spectre. According to them, Spectre had stolen a 200-year-old chalice which belonged to the Bradford family. That was none of my business anyway. The point here was that it took me quite a lot of time to explain to the detectives that I was a hostage, not the accomplice like they thought I was. It's okay, Dad. It's just a minor misunderstanding. Yeah. My dad is the mayor, so if I get in any trouble, his reputation will suffer negatively. Fortunately, after listening to my explanation, my dad finally believed this was just a misunderstanding. Remember back then, I didn't really get why a thief could behave so gently. Besides, I just felt familiar with him. Forget it. I'm done with landing in trouble again.
Babe, what are you thinking?
Nothing.
So this week is my dad's birthday. It's a big event. So remember to wear that dress I bought for you.
That was Julian, my boyfriend. His dad is a billionaire, so he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, obviously. Julian was very gentle. Could he be Spectre? Oh! Shoo! That was a stupid idea. Anyway, Julian kept reminding me that it would be a big party, so I had to look gorgeous since the party would be held at the Empire Building. If you ever wondered why people had to wear a mask to a birthday party, well, to be honest, I didn't know either. Who knows what rich people have in their minds? Julian took me in the room, then quickly left me to go see the guests with his dad. So I had to wait for him at the buffet. I just had a cocktail and turned around and Julian was nowhere to be found. Looks like it had been a while.
May I invite you to dance, lady?
Sorry, I have a boyfriend. Oh wait! When I turned around, I was startled to realize that it was Spectre. Before I could react, he'd quickly put a necklace around my neck.
A small gift for you, beautiful.
Then, Spectre lifted his hand and wrapped his other arm around my waist. Why are you here? Are you one of the guests?
Invited by whom? Mr. Peterson? I just want to meet the beautiful lady for a bit.
We danced to the enchanting music. Every delicate dance move and graceful gesture from Spectre made me float. I was so in this beautiful moment that I never wanted to get out. After dancing for a while, I noticed two fierce men appeared at the door and they seemed to be looking for someone. And that person was probably the guy who was dancing with me. Right that moment, those men noticed us.
Do you want to go out for a walk, lady?
Right then, Spectre grabbed my hand and took me away. The men also started chasing after us. Spectre and I ran through the side door that led to an empty hallway. After a while, he hesitated. This way. I showed him the way.
Wow, you really knew where to go. There's nowhere to run now.
Ah! Let go of me! The man had no intention of doing so.
Let her go!
Spectre reached out, but only caught the necklace.
Huh?
In the face of danger, Spectre used the necklace to throw at the man, causing him to push me away. Spectre caught me before I fell to the ground.
Run!
But what are you gonna do?
I'll be fine. Just run!
My mind was in a panic right now. I followed what Spectre said, running from the scene, but still, I couldn't stop looking nervously at the hallway. Ah! Stay away from me!
Babe, it's me.
Julian's arrival had calmed me down. I cried while hugging him.
You suddenly left the party. What's wrong?
Please hurry. He's in danger. When Julian and I returned to the hallway, Spectre and the men were gone. Oh my god! Was he okay?
I can't believe you talked to that criminal and even worried about him. He stole a precious necklace.
I had been in danger and all Julian cared about was just some random necklace. He didn't even ask if I was okay, while Spectre threw such a valuable necklace to rescue me. Maybe Spectre wasn't really as terrible as Julian said. Maybe there was a secret hidden behind his mask. I'm fine, thank you.
Now both he and that necklace are missing. Who knows what he's gonna do next? That criminal... Ugh. Talking to you is like talking to a brick wall.
Julian kept his angry, stern face until he drove me home.
You better not get involved with that criminal or you will be in trouble too.
Julian didn't just hate Spectre, but loathed him. That was why he kept calling him a criminal with disgust. Back then, it was really dangerous, and Spectre saved me from the bad guys and chose to face them alone. Indeed, I no longer cared that he's a thief as people said about him. Deeply in my heart, I really hoped that he was okay, and that those men didn't harm him. Please let me know if you're all right. The sound caught my attention. I went to the window and found a note there. I'm all right. Thanks for your help tonight. I immediately looked outside, looking for a figure. Outside, however, there was only darkness. The next day, there was news that Spectre had stolen another antique. It was a jewelry set called Blue Eye.
Damn it!
His sudden reaction had freaked me out. I'd never seen him so scary in my life. Ever since the appearance of Spectre, Julian had had a grudge against him. He even easily got angry at me every time he heard this name. I wanted to comfort him, but he brushed off my hand. That action was so harsh that it almost made me bump into the table. That was it. What Julian did had gone beyond my breaking point. I got angry and... I'm breaking up with you! And I just walked away in tears. I ran to the school rooftop and burst into tears there.
Are you okay?
I'm not okay.
Julian might be quick-tempered, but I don't think he did it on purpose.
You're his pal. Of course you're with him this time.
And you're my friend too.
It seemed that right then, Alex was the only friend I could talk to. So I told him everything. Alex remained silent for a while. So you agreed with Julian. You think Spectre is a criminal.
I don't know what to say, Isla.
Anyway, I believe he must have unavoidable reasons to do so.
Do you really think so?
I couldn't give Alex a prompt answer. Deep down, I thought there must be a reason for Spectre to commit the thefts. I mean, I'm not sure either. The following days, Julian tried to make up with me, but I just refused him. After the breakup, I realized that I didn't even love Julian that much, especially when he showed his hatred and disgust to Spectre. Besides, I had my own other reason. After breaking up with Julian, I often received notes from Spectre. His simple but warm greetings had helped me go through the heartbreak after my relationship with Julian ended. Gradually, an invisible bond seemed to form between Spectre and me. I think I had fallen for him. I knew this love was wrong, but I just couldn't stop myself from falling into it. I wish we could meet again, Spectre.
I heard you want to see me.
I turned back. Spectre was standing right in front of me. I rushed to hug him, and he hugged me too. We walked in the garden. Suddenly, I reached out toward his face. He was startled and stepped back, which made me lose balance and fell to the ground. Ouch! Spectre looked at me, then quickly helped me stand up.
Are you okay?
I just wanted to know your true face. Spectre gripped the mask tightly and took a step back. My heart was almost strangled by his actions. He was afraid to let me see his real face, wasn't he?
If I did, you might be put in danger.
I got it. So, can you kiss me? Spectre covered my eyes with his hand. I could hear a rustling sound. And then, I felt his lips on mine. That moment, our hearts were already in perfect harmony.
I love you, Isla.
When I opened my eyes again, there was only an empty garden. The past moment felt like a dream, only I could still feel him around. Over time, my love for Spectre tended to grow stronger. Even though I had to keep it a secret to everyone, I was willing to do so. There's something I need to know. Why did you steal them?
Those things have been illegally traded, Issa. They originally belonged to my family, but were taken advantage by bad people. I just want to get back what once belonged to my family, and that's all.
But if you keep doing this, it will cause more misunderstandings.
I know you worry about me, but please trust me. It's all coming to an end.
Even though he said so, I still couldn't feel at ease for a bit. That night, I was coming home after dinner with some friends when suddenly a motorbike passed by. That mask. This is not okay. I immediately turned around and followed him. Then, I saw the motorbike outside an abandoned warehouse. He must have left it here and gone inside. So I found a way to sneak in. Phew, I almost got caught. After going for a while, I saw something strange. A man was carrying wooden crates onto a truck. He suddenly dropped a crate, something fell out, and he panickedly picked it up. I doubted that it was something illegal, so I tried to take a video of it with my phone, even though my hands were shaking like a leaf. Damn, why does it have to be right now?
Who's there?
The man noticed that and immediately walked towards me with an axe in his hand.
Get out right now!
Scared that the next strike would hit my head, I had to reveal myself. The other man suppressed me into the warehouse.
Let me see who's the rat that interrupts my business. Isla?
Julian? Julian seemed to be bewildered to see me. Then he suddenly burst into laughter.
Isla, oh Isla, what brought you here?
What's your connection to all of this?
It's right under your nose. What? Unbelievable, huh?
I filmed the whole thing. You won't get away with this.
Then you won't get out of here alive.
Julian was like a crazy monster rushing towards me. Right then, something flew into Julian's forehead, causing him to scream. Spectre appeared like a hero, quickly defeating the guards, then ran to me. Watch out! Spectre managed to dodge Julian's bat, but he also hit the wall. Then, the mask fell to the ground. Julian became extremely dumbfounded. Alex? Spectre, the love of my life, was Alex? Julian couldn't believe the truth revealed in front of his eyes.
I can't believe this. How ironic.
I was equally shocked when I learned the true identity of Spectre. Julian saw that I was distracted and so he swung the bat at me, but Alex was able to stop it. Alex was about to say something to me, but because of avoiding Julian's punch, he couldn't do it. Julian aggressively rushed to a hand-to-hand combat with Alex. Alex was overpowered and was pushed to the ground.
You were so wrong to come here.
Julian fell to the ground unconscious. In a panic, I dropped the bat in my hand and crouched down. Alex quickly ran to me and hugged me tightly. Oh God, did I kill him?
He's just passed out. He'll be okay.
Outside, police sirens resounded. At that moment, in Alex's arms, I finally felt a bit safe. Spectre finally revealed his face and became the key witness to help police solve the crime. After that, the whole crime of Julian illegally trading antiquities was exposed. Those who were involved were also arrested and received appropriate punishment. More than 100 antiques have been found and confirmed to be returned to the Bradford family, which is also Alex's family.
I'm sorry for keeping the truth from you. It's okay if you hate me. I got it.
Silly, how can I hate you? I love you no matter if you're Spectre or Alex.
In the yard of my 2,000 square foot villa, I was carefreely painting on a canvas when suddenly a woman climbed inside and fell on me. When she got up, she rushed to hug me. Joey, my beautiful daughter. Mommy? Before she finished her sentence, she was forcefully dragged out by 2 bodyguards, but she quickly bit into their hand, causing them to howl in pain. Once again, she ran to me and kneeled down while crying. At that moment, Sharpay, my aunt, came out from the villa and shouted, "You don't have the right to see her again." I was so scared and confused that I took cover behind my aunt's back, then quickly fled from there. Hi, I'm Joey, 18 years old. My dad died early and my mom left me when I was small, so I had to live with my aunt since childhood. My grandma is so rich that I grew up like a noble who bathed in luxury. I never knew anything about my biological mom until that fateful day when she suddenly appeared in my yard. Since that incident, the woman who claimed to be my mom refused to move an inch and said that she would only leave after talking to me. Seeing that there was no turning back, Aunt Sharpay took me inside and told me the truth. It turned out that from the day I was born, my mom left my dad and me to follow another man. My aunt feared that the past would come back and destroy my future, so she sent the bodyguards to protect me 24 hours a day. At the same time, Sharpay hid the truth from me to avoid hurting me. She said, "You can go see her now, but don't forget how she abandoned you." Anger rose in my heart. That woman clearly didn't deserve to be my mom. Without thinking, I went into the kitchen and pulled out a bucket of cold water before coming to her. She looked at me and smiled happily. "My dear." Immediately, I threw a bucket of water at her and yelled at the top of my lungs, "Don't call yourself my mother! Leave!" "Joey, listen to me." I walked straight into the villa and slammed the door, leaving her outside calling my name constantly. I cried a lot that day. Even though my aunt was strict, she was the only one who raised me and supported my painting passion, unlike my grandma. However, even though I was brought up with love and care, I had always wondered what it felt like to have a real mom. So when I learned the truth, it devastated and enraged me even more. After that day, my stubborn mom still tried to reach out to me, but always failed. Once on my way home from school, my mom ran to the middle of the road to stop my car, causing the driver to brake the car abruptly and deliver a sharp pain to my back. Seeing me wince, she put a bandage on my hand. "Are you all right? Please, take this." But I coldly threw the bandage in her face. "I never want to see you again. Don't come near me anymore." Then I ordered the driver to take us away. My mom ran after me but tripped. Even though I hated her, seeing her fall like that still made me strangely uncomfortable. After that, about a week, she stopped following me and I felt much more at ease. One day, my boyfriend Liam and I attended a class of etiquette for nobles. When we were there, the person in charge suddenly announced, "Today we will have a new teacher, Mrs. Claire." To my surprise, the new teacher was none other than my mom. She was also surprised to see me. The atmosphere of the class that day was heavy and quiet. Lost in thought, I cut my finger without knowing. Seeing that, Liam immediately went to find a bandage for me, but Mom was faster as she grabbed my hand and treated it. "Don't worry, I'm here." I immediately yanked my hand back and pushed her away. Unable to bear it anymore, I quickly ran out of the class. Later, Liam showed up and asked me what happened. I hugged him tightly, told him everything, and then burst into tears. He gently advised me, "Joey, give her a chance to talk. She probably has her own side of the story." I went home thinking a lot about Liam's words, even while I was trying to focus on a business book. Suddenly, my aunt patted my shoulder. "What are you reading?" "Just boring business stuff." Looking at the book, Aunt Sharpay softly closed it and made an unexpected suggestion. "I know a French academy that's famous for painting. Do you want to study there?" Worried that Grandma would be angry, I said, "But Grandma hates that. She wants me to learn the business to inherit our company." My aunt said she would try to persuade my grandma later, and if I truly wanted it, she would definitely help me get into that academy. You know, painting has always been my dream, and Aunt Sharpay was the only one who encouraged it. She used to help me hide from Grandma to go to art classes instead of business ones. But because I was scared of my grandma, I still refused her. The next morning, I was craving for beefsteak, so my bodyguard drove me to the best diner in the city. While I was waiting, suddenly a pot of plants fell from above. "Be careful!" Out of nowhere, my mom pushed me away, helping me narrowly avoid the pot. Liam also ran over shortly after. Strangely, at a dangerous time like this, my two bodyguards were nowhere to be seen. Mom looked at me worriedly, and Liam said, "Joey, you have to talk to her." Turns out Liam had taken the initiative to ask her to come to meet me. Following his advice, my mom and I decided to hold a proper conversation for the first time. From there, my mom told me the whole truth. It turned out my parents were never married, but my mom still moved in with Dad. And the most important thing was, she never abandoned me. When I was 1 year old, my dad suddenly passed away. Aunt Sharpay knew that I would surely become an heir, so she sought to evict my mom from the house to obtain custody of me. To do that, she dropped a pair of men's underwear in my mom's suitcase, which made Grandma furious and accused her of being a shameless widow and freeloader. It was how she was kicked out and was forbidden to come near me. "You have to go with me. Sharpay is trying to harm you to take over your inheritance rights." I was shocked and didn't dare to believe the truth, so I screamed, "Don't slander my aunt! She's my only family!" I downed the cup of coffee in one heartbeat, then left without saying anything. The next day, I told my aunt I wanted to study in France, and she happily informed me that she would help me with the procedures immediately. The bodyguards took me to the company to see her. My aunt hurriedly gave me a stack of papers and told me to sign them. Without thinking much, I signed everything. When I was about to give them to her, I accidentally dropped the document and discovered a contract with transferring inheritance rights. Did Aunt Sharpay just trick me? I held up the paper and shouted, "What is this? Why did you let me sign this?" "No, She rushed to take the paper, but I firmly held it back, causing it to be torn in half. My aunt angrily tried to take a deep breath, however she lost it and pushed everything on the table to the ground. "Restrain her!" 2 bodyguards rushed to control me. She took out a fingerprint seal and pressed the tip of my finger to it. Just when my finger was about to touch the paper, Liam appeared and attacked the bodyguards to rescue me, while my mom rushed to hold Aunt Sharpay. Sharpay was furious. "I've raised you for 14 years just for this day. Your inheritance must be mine." Turns out, just as my mom said, my aunt was the evil one here. Thank God Liam had sneaked a tracker into my bag because he sensed the danger. My mom immediately knocked my aunt down, and she fainted on the spot. After defeating the bodyguards, Liam took my mom and I to safety. When I got home, I called my grandma to tell her the whole truth. Grandma was very angry and decided to disinherit Sharpay and fired her from the company. She also demanded that my aunt give up custody of me and stop manipulating me. Finally, my grandma apologized for having misunderstood my mom for so long. My mom and I have reconciled, and she even comes to live with me and Grandma now. You have no idea how much I missed her. I also have to thank Liam, because he wasn't only a wonderful boyfriend, but also a trusted friend who didn't give up on helping me get back with my real family.
Chop chop! Jojo Joy, you're late for class!
Dad, I can't braid my hair.
Hold on. Uh-oh. Pumpkin, what do you think about short hair?
It's fine, Dad. I think it's more convenient. But Daddy, one of my socks is missing.
Don't worry, you can take one of mine instead.
Look, Dad! The egg is on fire!
Hi, I'm Joy, 16 years old. I guess you might be thinking that I'm a weirdo, right? Well, yeah, I might be a little. It all started when I turned 6 years old and my mom passed away from cancer. My dad, who used to be a clumsy man, had to work day and night to feed me. As my mom wasn't there to take care of me, the feminine side of me seemed to fade away through time. I had to learn to become a strong and independent girl to support my dad. It's not something bad for me because I got to live with my dad and I'm happy about that. Alright, can you start the engine?
It's working! My pumpkin pie, you're the best!
I love Dad and always wish that he could someday find someone to share life with after Mom passed away. And yet, I noticed that he might be seeing someone recently. He looks kind of suspicious though. It was true that our life had been all fine until the trouble started to knock on our door. That day, I was in my woodworking class when suddenly Zach, the typical bully, came and showed a very arrogant attitude.
Shove off, kid. I want to sit here.
Did he just call me kid? That was rude. And why should I do that? I was here before you came.
It's none of my business. Why don't you go to art classes? They're for the girls, girl.
This spoiled kid, he crossed the line. I got mad and so I stood up to grab his hand and threw him to the ground. You never mess with a lady. Got it, you meatbag. The whole class laughed their heads off at Zach's pathetic presence. His face turned red like a ripe tomato. He rushed to attack me, but suddenly someone had stopped him.
You stop right there. Attacking a girl doesn't make you cooler.
OMG, he's so cool. His steady eyes, his masculine face, and his whole body was like shining. I was beyond hypnotized by that glorious moment until Zach dragged me back to reality.
Just wait. It's not over,
he said, then left in frustration. Oh, villains. They can't find better quotes, can they?
You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. And so we started to talk to each other. His name was Anthony, and he turned out to be the president of a music club. I heard rumors about how handsome and how popular he was previously, but I just ignored it because I didn't care about it. Now that we officially met each other, I felt like the rumors were somehow true.
Where did you learn that trick?
My dad taught me. He used to be a martial artist.
That's cool.
Since that day, we started to become closer to each other. Oh my god, Anthony always made me laugh with his stories. I had a strange feeling in my heart whenever the two of us were together. I thought I liked Anthony already. I wondered if he felt the same about me. When I was immersed in my romance, something unexpected happened. That day, my dad took me to this luxurious restaurant downtown. When we got there, I saw a middle-aged woman who had a friendly smile waiting for us. Sitting next to her was a girl about my age. OMG, she looked gorgeous. Her blonde hair was tied in a ponytail and her green eyes were mesmerizing. She was so different from me.
I want to introduce you to Miss Susan and her daughter, Julie. Susan and Julie, this is Joy, my daughter.
Hi, Joy. It's a joy to meet you. She's a girl. God, she looks like a boy.
Joy, there's something I need to tell you. Miss Susan and I, we've been dating. She and Julie will move in with us next week.
Excuse me? I was like falling deep into a black hole. I knew my dad was seeing someone, but I just didn't expect things to be that fast. 2 weeks later, Susan and her daughter, Julie, moved in. At first, we were quite shy to communicate with each other.
Mom, I'm not sleeping in this tiny little box. I have claustrophobia, remember? You can sleep in my room, and I will sleep in yours. So be it.
Miss Susan put a lot of effort to shorten the gap between us. That day, she asked me to do the gardening with Julie.
Julie, stop looking at your phone and bring me the soil sack. I can't. It's too heavy.
Julie pouted and stomped her feet to the ground while Miss Susan seemed to be very unhappy about it. Here, let me help you. To loosen the tension between them, I offered to do Julie's task.
Thank you so much, Joy. You're such a great gardener. Seriously, she doesn't even look like a girl. Julie, you come here and help me or you're grounded.
What Julie said really bothered me. Did I not look like a girl? Not even a little bit?
Forget what she said. Come here. I'll teach you how to grow tulips.
Miss Susan charmingly taught me, and she even pet me when I was doing great. She had such a sweet smile, and it reminded me of my mother. It was true. It was the feeling of being with my mom. Suddenly, a high-pitched scream ruined the mood.
My nail is broken! I told you this is a stupid idea. Knock it off, Julie. You're overreacting. Can you not learn anything from Joy?
Julie was angry at being scolded, and so she left the garden. How could it turn out like this? I tended to chase after her, but Miss Susan stopped me.
Don't worry about her. That's who she is. Now, let's pick some tomatoes. We'll make a salad for dinner.
Ever since Miss Susan and July moved in, our home had become more alive. Maybe the difference between our personalities made it a bit challenging to get to know each other. Besides, I never had a sister before, so I had no idea where to start. Even so, I had a great feeling that things would be all right. One day, each of the students were working on our own individual birdhouse project for woodworking class. When Anthony and I were carrying our work to class, we bumped into Julie at the hallway. Her jaw dropped to see us together.
OMG! You knew Anthony? He's the hottest guy in our school.
Yeah, we go to the same woodworking class.
Hey girls, I'm standing right here.
While we were talking, Zach came out of nowhere and rushed towards us. He bumped into us on purpose, making Anthony's birdhouse fall to the ground and break it into pieces.
Sorry for breaking your house, even though what you made has really been trash. That spoiled kid, I'm gonna give him a lesson.
We need to fix it or you will fail this class.
We only have less than 1 hour. How can we make it?
I can help you with that. And so we fixed the birdhouse together. With my gifted brain, we finally made it before class started.
Joy, you're a genius.
What was he doing? It was so embarrassing and sweet.
Don't forget the game at my house this afternoon. I will have revenge for being defeated previously.
You will have to work on that, boy. Before leaving, Anthony did not forget to grab me and pat my head.
Are you into him?
Oh, no, we're just friends.
I knew it. Just want to ensure that you won't break your own little heart.
Excuse me?
Well, you're obviously not his type.
Then Julie started to tell me about Anthony's ex-girlfriends, the cheerleading captain, Sophia, the girl in the dance sport club, May.
Do you know what they shared in common? Sexy and girly. And most importantly, Anthony only sees you as a guy friend.
How did you know that?
Trust me, dear. A boy will only play games with another boy, and he will go out with the girl that he likes.
I hated to admit this, but Julie did make sense. It was impossible that a hot and popular guy like Anthony would ever be interested in a rough girl like me.
But I can help you change to fit him.
Are you serious?
I am, just trust me.
After the class was over, we went home together. Julie helped me choose an outfit that she thought Anthony would definitely like. She also made my hair and helped with makeup so that I could go to Anthony's that afternoon.
Julie, this dress is too tight. Try to fit in it. It makes your legs look longer.
After a few hours, we finally made it. I rushed to Anthony's because I'd been late. However, because of the tight dress, I couldn't walk normally. When I got there, my body was all sweaty. Anthony, I'm here.
Joy, is that a dress? Why do you look like you've just returned from hell?
Anthony handed me a glass of water. He seemed confused. Damn it. Julie had told many times that I had to act like a lady.
Should we start the game?
We began playing our favorite game. The problem was I tried to be ladylike and had to struggle in this tight dress, and I couldn't act like normal.
Joy, you're okay?
I'm fine. OMG, what the hell had I done? When I frantically tried to ask Anthony about his eyes, my dress suddenly ripped a larger piece. Oh damn. Why now? I couldn't let Anthony witness this, and I tried to cover the ripped part and ran out from his house. After that failed date, I didn't have enough courage to meet Anthony until he texted me and said he wanted to invite me to the pool party at his house that weekend. You should join the party. It's a chance for us to make it up to what happened last time. Are you sure? Of course I am. Last time we failed because we didn't have enough time. Trust me, this time is going to be different. Julie had been more cautious this time. She brought me a pretty hot one-piece swimsuit. Moreover, to make it work better, she also came to the party to support me, just as what she expected. When I showed up at the party, everyone was jaw-dropping, and so was Anthony.
Joy, you look different. Gorgeous.
I'm sorry about the buttons.
Nah, don't worry about it. Wanna swim?
I excitedly stepped into the pool. But when I just did that, Zach the bully screamed.
Joy, did you just pee in the pool?
I was freaked out to see that the water behind me was turning into yellow like I just did a number 1 into the pool. What on earth was happening? People surrounding me started to scream. I had to grab the towel from the boy next to me and wrap it around my hip and run away from the pool and the party.
Joy, chill. It's gonna be alright.
No, it's not, and you shouldn't be looking at me right now. While we were struggling with each other, I accidentally pushed him into the pool. Under people's laughter, I burst into tears and ran to the toilet. As I walked through the storage, I heard a loud laugh in Julie and Zach's room.
You were amazing. She just went to that pool and the water turned yellow already.
Give me $500.
What? That's too much for such a little prank.
What do you mean little? I've just embarrassed our enemy.
It turned out that Julie had applied some kind of powder onto my swimsuit to humiliate me. I rushed in anger. Why did you do that, Julie? Did you shake hands with this spoiled brat to hurt me? Why? For only $500?
Because I hate you. It's unfair that such an outdated and crude girl like you gets all the love. Even my mom and Anthony like you. What are you to steal so much love?
It turned out that Julie envied me because I was loved by everyone. She did tricks to split me and Anthony. When she knew that Zach also hated me, she decided to work with him to drag me down. Suddenly, the door was shut. Hey, open the door!
You two siblings should stay there and chit-chat.
You idiot! Why are you locking me with her?
I don't give a damn. You're even more annoying than her.
Just then, Julie started to act strangely. Her face turned pale, sweat was pouring, and she was breathing heavily. She banged on the door, non-stop. Stop being dramatic. Someone will open the door soon. But Julie didn't seem to be pretending. She was indeed pathetic. Hey, are you okay? I can't breathe. Oh no, I forgot this. Julie had already told me when she moved in. I couldn't believe it was true, so I started to bang on the door too.
Zach, what are you doing?
It was Anthony. I told him everything and asked for his help.
You want to save them? Then defeat me. You spoiled rat!
While Zach and Anthony were fighting outside, Julie's condition turned worse and she started to faint. Facing the situation, I had to use all my strength to rush toward the door again and again. Finally, the door was open. I tried to drag Julie outside and call the ambulance. Fortunately, Julie was safe. Lying in the hospital room, she couldn't stop crying. Thank you, Joy, and I apologize for what I did. It's okay, Julie. I forgive you. Let's start over, okay? This time, Julie had her lesson learned. She also received an adequate punishment after Susan and my dad found out about what happened. And Zach, the bully, was also defeated by Anthony. He deserved it. After this incident, I also learned a lesson for myself. I was stupid trying to change myself just to fit someone. So that day, I bravely confessed my love to Anthony and hoped he would love the real me for who I truly was.
You silly girl. You're the most special girl I've ever met. You're strong, kind, and decisive. I've been into you since the first time we met.
It was my second day at a Korean school when Yuri brought me a new uniform. Ew, it looked so outdated. I decided to pull up my skirt. This is much better. Immediately, Yuri pulled my skirt lower. When in Korea, you must follow the school rules. I squashed her hand away, took the scissors on the table, and mercilessly cut my dress short. I threw it at Yuri's face challengingly. If you like long skirts that much, use this extra fabric to add to yours. You're welcome, hun. What's up, everyone? It's me, Aisha. Nice to meet y'all, my beautiful WOA animated story audience. A little about my family. My parents were divorced, and well, nowadays it's nothing surprising. However, my dad remarried Miss Nari, a refined Korean woman, and decided to move us all to Korea. Although I love K-pop, I never thought I would have to live in my idol's country. On the first day of our future home, I walked in and saw Miss Nari cooking a bunch of Korean dishes. I made these especially for you, Aisha. Then she put a piece of kimchi into my mouth. It was my first time eating. Ah! It's so spicy! I quickly picked up the nearest bowl and drank it. No! It's kimchi soup! As soon as my dad finished, my tongue began to burn. Ugh, it was all Miss Nari's fault. Although after that, she cooked ramen for me, but I was no longer in the mood for eating. I knew my attitude pissed my dad off because he growled like a gorilla.
If you don't finish eating, don't leave the table.
Fine. If he wanted me to eat, I'd eat. To everyone's surprise, I picked up a large handful of noodles and shoved them into my mouth. I ate so aggressively that when I choked, the noodles in my mouth splashed on my dad's and Miss Nari's face.
You're so ungrateful. Nari cooked it for you.
Nari, you only care about her. After that, I ran straight to my room, hoping tomorrow would come early. As long as I was at school, I wouldn't have to see them anymore. I thought things would get better at school, but again, I was wrong. When I arrived at my classroom, I tried to open the door, but it was stuck. Come on, just a bit more. Ah! Fortunately, before the door fell on me, a strong arm caught it. The boy who saved me looked so much like Seon from EXO.
Are you okay?
Before I could answer, a nasty voice screamed, "Hey, are you an idiot? This is a sliding door."
Don't yell like that. She's a new student.
If you have time to take care of a new student, spend it on improving your grades instead. Then she haughtily left. Later, I found out that her name is Yuri, my class president. The one who opened the door for me was Jin, the second best student who always competed for the top spot with Yuri. Ooh, drama! In my first lesson, the teacher divided the class into groups for an assignment. We had to do a report on our perspective of Korean culture.
This assignment will also determine your final results.
Jin was in the same group as Denzel, a student of mixed Australian and Korean blood. Geez, just my luck. I was put in the same group with Yuri. Don't drag my grades down with you, Pabo. Simmer down, dweeb. To understand your culture, I must have real experience instead of gluing my face to the screen. The teacher passed by and overheard our conversation.
I think Aisha is right. That'll help her settle in sooner.
Although Yuri wasn't happy with the teacher's suggestion, she still agreed. The next Sunday, Yuri told me that we would start with exploring K-music. Unexpectedly, she took me to a tedious traditional dance class. Didn't you say you wanted a real experience? Was she pulling my leg? Not giving in, I texted Jin and Denzel to join me.
Come on, Ice Princess. The more the merrier.
After that, we studied Korean traditional dance together, but we were all tense. Also, I was getting sleepy. Not good. This must be stopped. I immediately ran to the speaker and connected my Bluetooth to it. The booming music immediately caught everyone's attention. What the hell are you doing, Aisha? Nothing can stop me now. In the heat of the moment, I pulled Jin along to dance with me. He happily joined. Then, unexpectedly, he pulled me into his arms. Oh, how I wish the time would stop. All of a sudden, he turned me around like a pinwheel. That made me dizzy, and I accidentally fell towards Yuri. Ah! That impact left her hand injured and unable to continue dancing. Great, now I have to learn it for her sake. Seeing my annoyance, the dance instructor softly encouraged me.
These tunes are meant to ward off evil spirits and purify the soul.
Then she asked us to sit down, close our eyes, and connect to the music. Concentrate, Aisha. Inhale, exhale. How amazing! I was really relaxed. All my worries melted away to the music. Right after we finished the dance class, Yuri dragged me to the library to write a report. Since her hand was hurt, she just sat there reading for me to write down. We must deliver a perfect assignment. I won't let Jin surpass me. Before I could defend Jin, Yuri stood up to go look for more books. Suddenly, there was a strange sound behind me. Cuckoo! I turned around and saw Jin. When I got near him, he handed me 2 tickets for Junho's concert.
These are for you. My dad is the director of Junho Management Company. You should take Yuri there to make up with her.
That's so nice of you, but we're still finishing our assignment.
Don't worry, I'm in that dance class too. I'll write it for you.
Hearing that, I happily hugged Jin and kissed his cheek. Thank you so much! Embarrassed by my own bold move, I quickly ran away with the tickets in hand. As soon as I got to the door, I saw Yuri. Let's have fun! As soon as we arrived at Junho's concert, Yuri couldn't hold back her surprise. How did you get these tickets? Not to mention VIP ones? Without answering, I pushed her inside. Although my class president looked serious, when Junho appears, she turned into a completely different person. Oppa! Junho Oppa! Sarangae! Seeing Yuri like that made me laugh so hard. Then she did the most unexpected thing. She broke through the barrier and ran straight to the stage towards Junho. Even the bodyguards couldn't pull Yuri away from the singer's body. In the end, I had to rush to the stage and give the bodyguards a hand. After we were able to separate them, Yuri and I were kicked out of the concert. God, that was so embarrassing, but also kind of funny. After that, we went back to the library to finish the assignment. Once it was over, we would go our separate ways. When we got back there, Jin was nowhere in sight. And surprisingly, our almost finished assignment file was completely replaced by an aggressive message.
Yuri, eat my dust!
Were those concert tickets? Did Jin give them to you? It turned out that Yuri and Jin used to be close friends when Jin was still the class president. One day, he fell ill and was bedridden for 2 months. It affected negatively on his academic performance. Seeing that, the teacher decided to put Yuri in charge instead. Ever since then, Jin had mistakenly assumed that Yuri had taken advantage of his sickness, then he single-handedly ended their friendship.
Pabo, how could you trust him so easily?
That scumbag! I'll beat him up.
Don't bother. Without any concrete proof, he'll deny it. And our priority is the assignment. We have to send it in 5 hours.
I hated to admit that Yuri was right. We quickly split it up to finish the report. Yuri wrote about her experience from the K-pop concert, while I wrote about my experience with traditional Korean music. After staying up all night, we finished it brilliantly. Ooh, I didn't know that you could laugh too.
Pabo, of course I can. But since I'm the class president, I have to maintain a serious image.
Turns out the real Yuri was that unexpectedly crazy and passionate girl who could scream her idol name at the top of her lungs. Yuri, if you want others to listen to what you say, you gotta understand their hearts. I hoped my words would reach her somehow. The next day, Yuri and I went to class to submit our papers, just in time to see Denzel rushing over.
Sorry I'm late. Jin just told me to go print this out.
But as soon as I saw Jin and Denzel's assignment, I realized it was the same one Yuri and I wrote. After explaining everything to Denzel, he decided to help us expose Jin. Denzel quickly called Jin to the stairs. As soon as he appeared, Denzel pretended to be panicked.
We're doomed! This morning I accidentally bumped into Aisha. She saw our group work and is accusing us of copying theirs. Did you really do that? Yeah, so what? They have no proof. Well, just to be safe, I stole their assignment. I was afraid the teacher would see the similarities in our work.
Hearing that, Jin proudly snatched the papers from Denzel's hand and tore it.
Good job! This time I'll definitely reclaim my rightful position. Or get expelled for plagiarism.
At this moment, Yuri and the teacher came out from the corner.
Everything you've done has been exposed, Jin.
Right after that, Jin was suspended and forced to transfer schools. After everything was over, I realized I wouldn't have been able to fit in my new school without Yuri and Denzel's help, and I was extremely grateful for them. However, the relationship between me and Miss Nari was still ugly.
Don't whistle at night, Aisha. It will attract the evil spirit.
Ugh, how annoying! To see what would happen to me, stay tuned for part 2. See ya!